If I am a teacher and I want to do it right, I want to be prepared when I walk into my classroom. I want to do all the pieces that the curriculum says to do. What am I looking at in terms of my time planning? You have any sense of that or no?
Well, I think the other thing that we learned is it's important to have a focus when you're implementing a new curriculum. It's actually probably not realistic that you're going to implement every single piece of written wisdom with excellence your first unit. That's something we would suggest is like try to get to excellence in fewer things at the beginning, and then add on. And then the second thing I would say is at Aspire, teachers had at least an hour of preparation time every day, which is different than what OUSD I think has in their contract. So I think that was important time. They had a lot of time with their teams to really align on their teaching and learning and to do this kind of internalization. So I would say, our day, obviously, they had more to do than plan their ELA lessons or internalize, as we called it. But I do think if we want teachers to be outstanding, we've got to also allocate the time for it. And I don't think any of the high quality curriculums you can just pick up and skate by. That's just a shortcut that's just not going to work.
Teachers want to do a good job, right? They don't want to like do the bare minimum. They are invested in students and they build relationships with kids and families and they want to do their best, right? My teachers were averaging between 5 and 7 hours outside of school a week to plan the lessons and to ensure that they were, delivering as much quality instruction as they possibly could.
For which program?
Wit and Wisdom.
Okay.
That's a tricky question because I think it varies by grade and by teacher experience and by teacher experience with a given grade. So if a teacher is teaching second grade for the second time, the planning is cut down. EL, because it's so robust, gives a lot of space for adding culturally responsive components, whether it's like different texts that are more, aligned to the community we serve, like all these things. Like there's a lot of space and encouragement around making the curriculum your own, but that does take time. Would I say it's more planning time than a traditional curriculum? No. Would I say it's different? Yes. So it's like taking what's already there and making it your own, or adjusting for the needs of your students in your classroom, looking at data, getting really, really specific, rather than like sitting down to a blank Word document and being like, I'm going to plan my lesson for tomorrow. So like a given lesson could be like 10 pages and has like 7 different script, like it's just very script. It's beautiful and it's been vetted, and we're grateful to have such rich resources, but it's not the lesson plans of the past. I'm like gonna age myself. When I had like my cover page, I was like, here's my learning target, here's my standard, and here are like the I do, we do, you do. Like that is not this curriculum.
Got it. So it's a little bit more just built
it's
out.
Complex. It's complex. Yeah, in a really good way, in a really thoughtful way, but in a way that we need to support our teachers and to be able to access it.
For expeditionary learning, it's really interesting for us because when our teachers reached out to teachers at the original pilot sites, they were looking at the in-person model, right? So they were looking at, in-person materials, in-person, instruction, and they were seeing like another 3 to 5 hours a week extra planning outside. It seems to be the same for virtual, because now, even though the slides are there for you and there's a little bit of a script there for you, you're still trying to figure out a way like so what part of this do I need to pull for this small group? And then I have a limited amount of time to do it. And so there's also the feeling of failure because they know that they're not giving kids the instruction that they need. So they're trying to do all the things in, 20, 30-minute blocks, and they know it's not working. So they're continuing to plan like, okay, I know this piece is really, really important, and I know that it's a focus standard. I need to make sure that the kids are getting this. So I think it's frenetic planning now outside of their contract hours to make sure that the kids are getting at least the bare minimum of what they need.
Yeah. Okay. So I took yesterday, today was the first day back from break. So I took yesterday, and I planned my shared reading and my ELA lesson in probably 20, 30 minutes, maybe. I planned both of those. Just because, so the words for shared reading, you just have to find the book, you look through the lesson plan, because it's the same every week. So you know exactly what to expect. It's just different questions in different parts of the book. And then you have different vowel patterns or letter patterns. So I search for those in my pack and the words, and then have them ready. And it just doesn't really take much time at all. And once you learn the routine, you don't really have to look over the lesson plan. You just know what to teach. You get an idea of what questions you're asking, the prompts that you're given. I print mine out and keep it right in front of me. I keep it on my lap if I'm teaching in the classroom. I keep it right in front of me for distance learning. And then the ELA part is a little bit more. You just have to prep a little bit more. So for instance, I might make an anchor chart, which might take a little bit of time. Not much though. If I already had this and then I make new Post-it notes for it each week. So that takes about 5 minutes. And then the sentences, it's just very easy because it's the same every week, just a different book, different words, different vocabulary, different vowel patterns.
The collaborative classroom, all of the curriculum is super plug and play for the most part. It does require basic training or understanding about how the different pieces work. But after that, especially with making meaning and being a writer, it has everything you need to know in one, maybe two manuals. It has all the books that you would possibly need. And so the planning time and the load on the teacher is low. And teachers can just take it and run with it and ensure that kids have basic comprehension and writing skills, not only how to compose for being a writer, the conventions, but also some more of the creative pieces like poetry or some of the opinion writing and how to add on and elaborate. So they know that none of the standards go missing when they're teaching with the curriculums, and they know that they're not going to have to invest a whole lot into planning. For a week, there's a look ahead section in which you spend about 20 minutes at the beginning of the week looking ahead. And then daily, about 5 minutes, gathering your materials and then reading through the curriculum. You're supposed to also make sure that you read the books and mark them with Post-its for the comprehension questions or where vocabulary instruction is going to happen. But it's a low lift in terms of planning and implementation.